Thank you very much. So, Christ College temporary access easement through Hagley Park.
Hey, something else should have been today.
Do we have any questions? Mike?
Sorry, I just got to find it now. It was also in relation to the engagement with Mana Whenua, where it does obviously acknowledge that there is an impact there. And then it says that MKT reviewed the report, but then it doesn't actually say what the outcome of that was. Okay. It could.
You've got to turn your microphone on or else others won't hear it. Just repeat the answer.
Oh, the outcome was that they were happy with what was being proposed.
Okay, no, that's fine, but could we have that included in future reports? Because it sort of went down the pathway, but then didn't actually answer what the outcome of it was.
Right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
So, Councillor Davidson, I think you've raised two really important messages today, which I'm going to reinforce in the organisation, which is these paragraphs are not things that you just put a stock answer in. And on this matter, actually, you're missing the vital piece of information, which is people were happy or people weren't happy. Whatever the issue was, I'll be picking that up with the Head of Legal and Democratic Services and then through the organisation.
Thank you. Jimmy and then Yanni.
Only one question. These are temporary, so 2 years, right? But due to the current COVID, probably regarding to the supply chain, or maybe cost escalation, etc. In case assumption, if 2 years, 9 years to be done, whether applicant is just apply for extension, then we just approve. I just want to know.
That would be the assumption. Yeah, it will be in place until the project is being completed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yanni?
Yeah, thank you. I think in general, the balance of the report makes a lot of sense, but just I was a little bit concerned about the process. Has this been to the community board?
It's a metropolitan issue.
No, we were going to put it through the committee, but with the committee chair's approval, we brought it straight to council because there's some urgency to get the decision so Christ College can move on.
So given that the resource consent was lodged on the 29th of September 2021 and it was granted on the 30th of November, why has there not been time to bring it through the normal processes? And I'm just trying to find when the MOU was signed, but something like this I would have thought the board should at least have been briefed on and made aware of. And there's been certainly plenty of time in this process. I'm afraid we can't. The property team, we haven't been party to the earlier process in terms of Christ College's consenting process. So we picked up this job to do the property elements, a couple of months ago, and we've been working through the issues in the report. So I'm not too sure what all the prior process was. See, Christ College may well have lodged the consent, but not have applied for landowners' approval to use our land, which is not unusual. Quite often that happens late in the piece. But maybe it's a question for the organisation, but the MOU was signed in September 2021 between the council and Christ College, and it makes explicit reference to approval from CC's elected members. So it would have been known at that time that this needed to go through a process, and I'm just concerned. A similar thing happened with Hagley Oval in terms of the cricket. So I just think we need to make sure that we've got robust processes in place to circulate and keep the community board informed. So I don't know if someone wants to pick that up, but it doesn't seem right.
I'll follow that up with the officers, Councillor.
Thank you. Pauline?
Yeah, I did have concerns about the risk that the bridge may become permanent, but I gather it's not constructed to be permanent, so it wouldn't be. And it's intended to be taken down when the construction's finished. But how then would they have any access for any large items that might have to go in there in the future if this is the only access? Is it envisaged that they would need to do that if there was, say, any repair work and machinery was needed for that, or what would they do? Would they just erect another
Go on the
temporary
front
bridge?
gates.
Okay.
Go on the front gates.
I guess at that point they would have to make their own arrangements. That's not part of this.
This is the only access, is what the report says. This is the only way
No,
they.
but this is for the development, the construction.
I know, but I'm just saying, is there any likelihood that there would need to be any big construction stuff to go in there in the future for maintenance, and how would they do that?
Well, you'd like to
For another easement for another temporary bridge, if that was required.
Yeah. So you don't see that as a risk?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions? So I've got a mover and a seconder, is that right? Yep, good. Any discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That is carried.